On this week's episode of Performance TV, we'll cover it all and give you some new tips on exhaust. We're going to double a diesel's turbo power and fire this Shelby's primary weapon.
Welcome to this week's Performance TV. Kathy, I got to tell you, when they told us we're doing a segment on a four-wheel drive, turbocharged diesel drag racing truck, I went, really? But now we popped the hood, and I was like, really?
Oh, I know, and I was a little concerned myself, but...
I got to know more about this.
Yeah, and you know, I got the guy that can tell us all about it, Johnny Gilbert from Stainless Diesel. This is absolutely amazing what you've done here.
Thank you. Johnny, I mean, one turbo, two turbo, three turbochargers? I mean, tell me about this truck. I mean, how much power does it make? I mean, I know you didn't buy this truck to go drag racing with it.
No, it actually hauled my race car to the track at one point. So, yeah, it's got 3 turbos. It makes just over 1,000 horsepower at the crankshaft, and it's been high 10s in a quarter mile.
Well, I mean, it's stainless diesel. You guys have a lot of components for you guys sell for these things. Let's check some of these out.
Yeah, like starting off right here at the base and look at the exhaust manifolds.
These are stainless manifolds for the Cummins diesel. Basically, they replace the cast iron OEM type manifolds, and they don't crack. These are pre-drilled and tapped for gauges, so if you want to read your EGTs, you can do that.
Now, when I look at the different footprints on these, this one's obviously smaller. This one's got a different hookup here. Why is that?
It's just 2 different sizes in the industry. There's a T3, which is kind of the OEM size, and the T4, which would be your upgrade from that.
I'm going to go install this manifold right now.
Johnny, this here is a twin turbo piping kit.
Well, this is something that we fabricate in-house.
Now, the turbochargers on this truck over here, after Kathy gets done putting the exhaust manifold on, which turbo are we going to put on this one?
Both of those.
Both of them. I like it. Bigger's better. I like it. Hey, Kathy, how you coming? I'm ready to put this turbo on. Let's get going.
Oh, yes, Tommy. No problem. We've already got it all taken care of on here. You know what? What I'm kind of curious about, though, can you tell me what the difference is inside the manifolds that you make?
Sure. Here's a good representation. This is ours is on the left. Competitors on the right.
Look at the oval in here compared to the circle. It's got to help with airflow and velocity.
Quite a bit larger, as well as the oval shape keeps up velocity. And notice how thick it is. It retains all the thermal energy within inside the manifold.
What separates your turbo from everybody else's?
We've got a new stainless diesel 5-blade compressor wheel, and it works really well in compound turbos, or the twin turbos that we're putting on today.
Oh, so that's your specialty?
Yes.
All right, cool. We installed the first turbocharger on the truck. Now, Johnny, we're going to install the second one on here.
Yeah, I just make sure that we prime the turbocharger before it's installed. Nobody wants a dry start.
All right, cool. Now it's ready to put on?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's bolt this baby on. We got one turbo down here. We got another turbo up here. Why 2 turbochargers?
Well, you get the drivability from the small turbo, so fast spool up, if you will. And the large turbo, you get all the power on the top end.
All right, there we go. Fine. All right, what's the next step? Any other tips or tricks? We're going to
do the turbo feed line. This is the oil feed line. Makes the turbo nice and happy.
Right here?
Yep. Oil cools it and lubricates it.
All right, tighten those up. All right, Johnny, what's the next step?
We got the air filter pipe. I've already got the sensor installed. All right. And it just goes right on the big turbo.
Right down on the bottom there. Mm-hmm. Weave our way down in there.
Yep.
That might be easier said than done. We'll start up here. Come in here.
All right.
Oh, that went on nice.
Yep.
All right, got that all tight.
All right.
What next step? Air filter.
Same thing with this one, yep.
All right, slide that down in there too? Mm-hmm. That's what turbocharger's all about. It's air, moving air.
Oh yeah, you got lots of CFMs. Yep, a setup like this on this style of truck with the right fueling and tuning, you're looking at around 800 horsepower.
All right, what's next?
So this is going to be the intercooler pipe. Put it into the intercooler boot first. Push it in there a little farther.
All right, now just slide
give you
this
enough
one.
room. Yep, and then you can pull it back forward.
All right, got the hose on, clamp in place.
So we got many colors available for the pipes. So
match your vehicle.
Oh yeah, sure.
Little bling to go on it.
Sure.
All right,
so
where's this go?
That goes on the front of the little turbo.
I got that. This way? Mm-hmm. Of course, this way.
And then this slips in.
There we go.
There you go.
Plopped right into place.
I got a clamp for you here for the turbo side.
This is relatively simple. Everything bolts right together.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It comes with pictures on the instructions. It takes
pictures. I like pictures.
Takes about a half a Saturday.
Half a Saturday for a whole lot of power. Now we're increasing Horsepower or torque more with these turbos?
On the diesels, you actually get both.
Well, now that we know that you guys can do these, obviously for the Dodge, what about some of the other vehicles? Duramax, can you do them for Power Stroke?
We do have some turbo upgrades for those.
Next time I'm at a drag strip and you're there, I want to make a pass in the four-wheel drive turbo diesel.
I'd be honored to have you drive it.
Yeah, we learned that 2 is good, and we know that 3 is even better, and we want to find out more about these or for any other vehicles. Can we check out your website?
Yeah, stainlessdiesel.com.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Dan Marr, offering automotive equipment solutions at a remarkable value. And by VR12, ultimate cooling system protection.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Tommy, you about got that out? Yes, you do. It comes out all in one piece. Today, we are going to make this truck sound a whole lot better, and all we have to do is go right to Borla, and they've got it done. 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500 or the GMC Sierra, same truck, 5.3 motor or whatever. This is the S-Type, Tommy. This is going to sound
beautiful
great.
looking exhaust, all stainless steel. Borla does it really first class. Everything you get from them is detailed, finished product. You get everything with the kit, one part number. You can have the choice of picking different tips, exhaust, different style exhaust, out the back, out the side, whatever you want. You can pick it, customize it, right for your truck. The one thing I like about this exhaust, it's in pieces instead of all one piece trying to get it out.
And it's marked. Your different pieces, your right, your left is marked, so it's going to make it a lot easier to put this in. Now, we do have 2 sets of hands here, but you can do it by yourself.
Right, you don't have to go to a muffler shop to get this done. If you can buy this from Borla and do it yourself right in your garage.
We have the other one out. Did you save the clamp?
I got the clamps all in place. They come with clamps, but there's one clamp you reuse from the factory system. They also provide a heat shield, extra hangers because we're going to make it a dual exhaust out the back.
Yes, we are. And everything that we need to get started, got the tools, here we go.
One thing I really like about the Borla system over the factory system, Kathy, is it comes in pieces. The factory system was all one piece, and I had to kind of hold my mouth right to get it out of here, so this is going to go in a lot easier. The only clamp you're going to reuse on the factory system is the one right behind the catalytic converter.
Right.
So we're going to put that back on there, and we're just going to slide this first pipe right up in here.
And we reuse all of the factory hangers.
Right, very simple.
Except for the one that we're going to add in the back. There's only the one new hanger that we need to add.
All right, let me tighten that up, and then we'll put the muffler on. Now we got that installed. I'm going to slide the clamp over here so we don't forget it. And
Okay.
then you want to have that muffler, and we'll put it in there. Just raise it up back, slide it right over this pipe. You want to hold it right there, I'll go ahead and put it into the fasteners, the hangers. That one, there you go. There, simple as that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just snug this clamp up. We don't want to tighten them all up till we get it all in here so we can adjust it and kind of fit it.
Exactly, adjust, we'll tighten everything, and then even run the vehicle a couple of times, go through a couple of heat cycles, and then retighten everything again.
All right, we got the muffler in place. Okay, I'm going to slide this clamp
Clamp.
over here, and then you go ahead and put the right side exhaust on. There you go, slid right in.
Okay.
I'll put that hanger on. I'll hold it for you. There you go.
There we go.
Now I'm gonna wait and tighten that clamp up because this is where it splits. We're gonna do a dual out the back. So we're gonna put a pipe, go over the rear end housing and come out the other side. So
There's your first piece.
I got the clamp on there. Just slide this up over the rear end housing and slide it on.
Yep, unlike my side, I only need one clamp. We've got a couple of different pieces over here, so you've got 3 clamps to get on. And now that we have this pipe that wasn't from the factory, we want to make sure that we keep all of our brake lines and everything all covered up here. Borla even includes a heat shield in with the kit. We'll just slide it right over and protect it.
The only thing we have to bolt on this system, we're going to do it off a factory location. We need to add a hanger for this side. When I do this bolt, the bracket Borla provider, we're going to tighten it up. We'll have a hanger on this side, and we'll have duals out the back.
Yeah, we are almost done. Push from that side. And we're ready for our last piece.
Slide that into place. All right, we're gonna have to, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. We'll tighten that clamp up, and then we'll make all of our final adjustments.
Yep.
All right, we got everything adjusted. When we like it, we're gonna hold the final torque.
Yeah, what do we need to torque those at?
15 foot-pounds.
And remember, we're going to take this thing out, drive it around a little bit, and come back in and make sure everything is really tight. But now you can see, man, that is so easy. You could throw in one of these Borla exhaust systems at home in your garage. We got a lot more to do in ours coming up here on Performance TV.
I can't wait to hear this thing rumble.
I know.
Performance TV, presented by ARP, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. When you've got a truck, Tommy, sometimes you just want to make sure everything is secure, safe inside, and make it look good while you're doing it.
Yes, this is hard tonneau cover made out of fiberglass. These guys build a very quality product.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 46 years. I mean, these guys really know what they're doing, whether it's the hard tonneau cover like we see here or the big truck caps. And, you know, as we take a look at this one, we've already got it set up here on top. The paint, man, this match here is great.
Yeah, they use Axo Nobel. It's the largest paint and coating manufacturer in the world. The paint on these things are phenomenal, resist chipping and cracking. These are a quality piece.
Well, and we start off well before we get to the paint with how Eagle is actually making this with the fiberglass. They use a chopped strand fiberglass mixed with the resin, roll it out by hand to make sure to get rid of any of the air. And with the longer strand, that's going to give you a lot stronger cover.
What I like about this, it's very simple to install. It comes as a big one piece, has an aluminum frame on the inside, has hinges with gas shocks. So you attach the aluminum frame to the bed of your truck, just line it up. We'll have to make some adjustments as we do this. We'll lift it up, attach the shocks. We'll be able to put the front clamps on up front. Very simple to install. 2 clamps each side.
Yep.
All we got to do is run these bolts in, put the clamps over the bed. There's no drilling, no have to drill any holes.
We always like that.
Yeah, no drilling. Who wants to drill into their bed?
Right, and I'm glad you brought up when we talk about the rails. Now, the aluminum rails on this Eagle tonneau cover, they are laminated into the top instead of being glued. A lot of other manufacturers glue theirs on, and that creates a problem down the road with them coming apart.
Right, so let's get started. We'll put these back clamps on here, one on each side. That way it'll hold the frame in place. We'll lift this cover up and allow us to put the front ones on without having to crawl in there.
Cheat a little bit to start with, just to help give you an extra hand.
Yeah, I want to see you crawl up underneath there and put these on.
Not this time.
All right, we'll make it easy for you.
Okay.
Now, Kathy, to save you from crawling up underneath here and putting those clamps on the front,
Appreciate that.
we're going to lift this up, attach the gas shocks, and that way we be able to put the clamps on the front a lot easier. We can probably actually do it on the outside of the truck.
I like
lift this
that.
up here and put the shock on.
Put it up.
Hold it up there for you. You got it?
Yep.
All right, put the clip on it. All right, now we should be good.
Okay.
Now all we got to do is put the front clamps on to secure the aluminum rail to the bed of the truck. We'll go up here and we'll line it up and tighten these up. Kathy, what we got to do is make sure the aluminum frame is lined up equally on each side of the bed. So just run the clamp down until I get kind of snug, make sure we both got our spacings right, and now I'm going to go ahead and tighten this front clamp up.
All right.
All right, mine's tight. Nice and secure, pulls the frame down next to the truck, pretty solid. Now we'll go back and readjust our rear clamps, and we'll retighten this clamp. All right, there you go.
Something else that is nice about this cover, Tommy, here in the middle, we have these, which all you want them to do is just barely touch the underneath side of this cover. It's going to help give it a little more support.
Yeah, they're going down the road, the wind wants to vibrate a little bit. That's just going to give a little more support in the center of the cover. All right, now it's all secured to the truck. One thing I like about this cover is you put stuff in your bed, you want to keep it secure. Well, you put this hard tonneau cover on here from Eagle, you pull it down, and you can latch it and lock it. Nowadays, there's a lot of tailgate theft, people stealing tailgates. Once you shut this tailgate and lock this cover, they can't get the tailgate open, so it's nice and secure.
Good looking, lots of extra added security, and something else that Eagle offers to the original owner of their tonneau covers or their caps, limited lifetime warranty on the structure. And if you want to find out more about any of the Eagle products, whether it be their hard tonneau cover like we put on one of their caps, all you have to do is check out the website on the bottom of your screen. We'll have more coming up on Performance TV. This week's industry update, Tommy, a lot of people are doing LS motor swaps, and that's what we're talking about today, and dressing one up a little bit.
Well, ARP has just a thing for it. If you're going to do a motor swap, it might be a daily driver. You don't want to put a lot of chrome. You don't want to put a lot of flash on it. But ARP has a solution to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Plus, the quality of ARP fasteners, they are superior to everybody on the market. They have a complete kit for the LS here. Every bolt you're going to need, you're going to put this on an LS motor. You're going to have all the nice bolts. They're going to look good. Plus, you're not going to have any failures. I mean, it doesn't have to be flashy, but that's a good-looking bolt. ARP builds quality stuff.
Absolutely, and we're even taking a step well above the OEM strength and quality. And with the stainless, if it is a daily driver, whatever, and it has to sit outside in the elements, you're not going to have to worry about it. And you have lots of different choices on whether you're going with the 12-point or the hex head or whatever you want to do. All coming in one kit, makes it nice and easy. You just tell them what motor you're running.
That's right. They got everything. I mean, they got the thermostat, the motor mount, everything you need for your engine, all in one kit. Simple, easy. No run into the bolt store trying to find what you need. It's all right here for you.
Absolutely, and of course, coming with the fastener assembly lube, the ARP Ultra Torque, it's all right here. And if you want to find out more, just check out arp-bolts.com, and that's this week's Industry Update.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by 4tire.com. In other words, we've got what you need. WeaponX, the most trusted name in late model aftermarket ignition performance. Arius Pistons, over 43 years of forged piston innovation that has set the standard for piston performance. And by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust.
Welcome back to Performance TV. You know, Tommy, with all of the vehicles that are coming out of the manufacturers today, you really wouldn't think one of the biggest weak links might be in the ignition.
Well, they build all this power, but yet sometimes they forget you got to have a lot of spark for that power. So today's products here, WeaponX has brought a lot of neat innovations to the ignition system for all these cars. We've got a Shelby 500. I'm wanting to get some of this stuff on here. So you guys talk a little bit about it. I'm going to get busy working.
Yeah, I'm pretty anxious. And Mark, this is a Ford part here, but what car? Something like we would find back here?
Yes, exactly. This ignition coil actually directly came out of the Ford GT 500. It is a stock OEM ignition coil. Basically, what WeaponX did is we came up with something called direct fire technology. What you're going to find here on every Motorcraft ignition coil is basically the ignition coil connects to the spark plug using a spring interconnect. You've got a lot of resistance in the circuit, and several manufacturers do the same thing. So what we do is we redesign the ignition coil from the ground up. So we have an axial design using direct fire technology that extends the power stage of the ignition coil and attaches it directly to the spark plug.
Show us the end of the spark plug going in the OEM first.
It's loose, poor connection, bad conductors. It's just a bad design overall.
Yeah, now check this out. This is pretty sweet.
With the WeaponX stuff, locked in, not going anywhere.
Didn't I hear something about these are in the 1000s?
Exactly. The Shelby 1000 produces an amazing 1200 horsepower. And in the Shelby 1000, they actually use our ignition components.
So we are going to be installing the same ones that are in the Shelby 1000s in this Shelby 500.
Exactly.
Oh, this owner is going to be really happy.
With all of our components, what we try to do is create a spark plug or create an ignition coil that is highly efficient. We use actually an aviation-style triple iridium electrode. This actually ensures a reliably lit combustion event every time. Most spark plugs come with internal resistors of 5,000 to 10,000 ohms. In a lot of our products, what we do is completely eliminate the resistance or lower the resistance to about 2,500 ohms.
Let's check in and see how Tommy's coming along.
Well, I got all my coils out, and I heard you guys talking about spark plugs.
Got spark plugs. Here's your new coils. And as a matter of fact, Mark's got our spark plugs for us. Now, why did you start on this side over here and leave this for me?
You guys need to get busy. You got a little work to do over there.
Yes, we do. All right.
I mean, this was relatively easy.
The most complicated part of the whole process is just pulling off the intake.
You could just replace the coils without the plugs, but if you're going to do it, you might as well do the whole work.
Exactly. The whole point, like I said, is to improve the efficiency so that we can take that input energy from the ignition coil and create more spark energy.
And now it's time to install the coils. Is there any tips or tricks to installing these WeaponX coils?
A lot of people have a problem installing the ignition coils properly, and that's because of the direct fire technology. It makes it more difficult for the ignition coil to install. A lot of people just drop the coil down in there. As a result, a lot of people just end up putting the ignition coil in the engine, leaving it sit on the top of the spark plug. After a couple of weeks, it starts backing off the spark plug, and of course, you get misfire, right? So normally what we suggest to our customers is spread a little dielectric grease around the rib portion of the ignition coil.
I went ahead and put some grease on all the boots of the coils so they slide down in there a little easier. Before we're going to put these in, I want to reconnect the wires. So once you put them in, it'll be a little tight to get the wires on there. So I'm going to put them on before I put them in. Nice and snug, snap fit. Now, you want to slide it back down in there, but one thing Mark talked about was once you get it in there, a lot of people just push them in, okay, that was good, but you want to make sure that the connection is solid. So you have to push on it, and you'll feel it snap in. There, I felt it slide right over the spark plug. Good, solid connection.
And there we go. Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy, you're pretty much getting done over there. I've got all the new coils put in. Could you finish this up for me? I've got some really cool stuff that he brought that I still haven't had a chance to talk about yet.
WeaponX basically created a division called Takai Racing. For example, this is an ignition coil off of a Kawasaki KX450. And what we've done is we've replaced the ignition coil and ignition wire with just an ignition coil. So this ignition coil would actually connect directly to the spark plug. Again, that's part of our direct fire technology. We reduce the amount of resistance in the circuit, we improve electrical efficiency of the ignition coil, and create a hotter spark, a longer duration spark, which typically nets about 1 to 2 horsepower per coil.
You also have a big difference here between your wires and stock wires.
Exactly. Not only do we do ignition coils, spark plugs, we do ignition wires, plasma booster right here that we have that increases the voltage to the ignition coils. So again, it's all about increasing the efficiency of the ignition circuit.
That's awesome. At WeaponXPerformance.com, you can find out about what Tommy and I just installed in this vehicle, all of the other products that Mark has brought to show us today, and
I'm ready to go for a ride.
let's go. All right.